our agency's mission. So the vision statement, okay? Eleanor Roosevelt said that the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Okay, we have a dream. If we believe in it, there's almost nothing in the way of realizing, of that dream becoming a reality. Thomas Edison, okay? Thomas Edison was known for, Thomas Edison, he, invented the light bulb, okay? Today we have a multi-billion-dollar lighting industry. Alexander Graham Bell, we have a multi-billion-dollar telecom industry. These were a small vision in the minds of these people. This was just a dream in the minds of these people. Today, they're multi-billion-dollar realities. So some of the questions to ask yourself when trying to identify the vision is, why did I start this business? What was in my mind? Why did I start it? I just wanted to make money? Do I want to have some sort of societal impact? When I move on from this place, what do I hope to leave behind? A successful business? A legacy? If my business could be everything I dreamed, how would it be? What am I really providing my customers beyond products and services? Am I providing them quality of life? Am I providing them with values? What am I providing beyond the actual product that I offer them, beyond the actual service that I offer them? The answer to these four questions will typically give us some form of identity of what our vision is. Microsoft, Bill Gates. Bill Gates' vision is there will be a personal computer on every desk running Microsoft software. Okay, every desk in the world will have a PC, will have a desktop running Microsoft software. That was his vision. And today Microsoft is one of the most successful companies that are out there. With a clear vision, we have a solid company. Next, let's take a look at the mission statement. The mission statement will address these questions. Why do we exist? Who do we serve? What do we do? Value statement. The value statement will answer typically these questions. What values are driving our vision? What values are important to the market we're targeting? What are the values of all the stakeholders involved? Again, because we don't want different people having different values and driving the agency into a bunch of different directions. And then we go ahead and we incorporate these values into the mission statement. Once we have clear values, we know how we operate. We know how we do our things because we have clear values driving us. Without the vision, mission, and value statement, probably the best way to describe us is the way Mark Twain put it. Why do we sit here looking like an envelope without any address on it? We're a packaged product. We have everything that we need. We have the building. We have the computers. We have the office. We have the financing. But we don't have any address. We're all wrapped up. We're stamped, signed, and sealed, but we have no address. That's the importance of developing a vision, mission, and values. We have to know the future. We have to know where we're trying to head. The next step in strategic planning is taking stock of where we are today. Okay, strategic analysis, right? If you have a brigade that's under attack, okay, if they don't know where the attackers are, they don't know where the fire is coming from, it's very difficult to try to develop strategies of defense or offense. We don't know who we're trying to get. We don't know where we're trying to go. So we need to take stock of where we are today. We need to take stock of our surroundings today. Okay? Let's take a look at some of the some of the areas that we need to look at in order to give us a clear picture of where we are today. Okay, basically we need to understand the environment on three components, from three aspects. First, we need to take a look at the macro environment. Then we need to take a look at the industry environment. Then we need to take a look at the micro environment. Now let's take a look at the basic description of each of these areas. Okay? The macro environment. The macro environment is what forces contribute to our industry's growth and contraction. The industry environment. The industry environment is what is the competitive landscape of our industry. And the micro environment is what strengths and weaknesses does our agency have as it relates to the outside environment. So we're going to be focusing on our agency internally as it relates to the outside environment. Let's just take a look at these key areas, in a bit more detail. Okay, the macro environment. Probably the best things to look at when trying to sum up the macro environment is what's known as pest analysis. Okay, pest analysis refers to political landscape. Okay, this can refer to anything from the politicians that are in office to political legislature. Economic landscape. This could include interest rates, gross domestic product, inflation, unemployment rates, average household income. These are typical economic information that we typically want to take into account. By the way, most of this information can be found, you can get it for free. The U.S. Department of Labor has it on their website. The Census Bureau has it on their website. But this area, the economic landscape, is pretty crucial. Just trying to get a grip on what kind of environment are we in. Okay, social landscape. What's the population growth? What's the average age distribution? Are we trying to target younger people? Are we trying to target older people? How large is that market? What are the social attitudes? And finally, technological landscape. Are there any technological advancements that can save our firm money? Social media advertising, updated software, updated cost-efficient software, updated programs, etc. These are the four areas that we typically look at when we're trying to get a handle on the macro environment. Okay? Next is industry environment. What are we going to look at when trying to get a grip on the industry environment? So the basic technique that's used is something that's called Porter's Five Forces. Okay? Porter's Five Forces takes a look at the entrants, the buyers, the substitute, and the suppliers. And that equals the competitive landscape. Now let's just explain this. Okay? The entrance. Okay, the entrance is typically a focus on the threat of competitors entering our market. Okay, the buyers typically focuses on the bargaining power that the buyers have, as it relates to our product or our customers. What kind of bargaining power do they have? Substitutes. This focuses on the threat of substitute products that'll knock us out of business. And finally, suppliers. What kind of bargaining power do the suppliers have? Are there more suppliers trying to get into our industry? Are there more suppliers than there are agencies? Or maybe vice versa. Are there more agencies than there are suppliers? Are the suppliers fighting for our business, or are we fighting for the supplier's business? That altogether will equal the competitive landscape. And these are five forces. We have the entrants, the buyers, the substitutes, and suppliers, and the competitive landscape. Once we get a grip of this competitive landscape, we have a solid understanding of where we are, what our position is in the market. Okay, we know who operates in our market, we know where they are, what strengths and weaknesses we have as related to them, which basically leads into the third step of microenvironment. Okay, microenvironment, we'll take a look at our own strengths and weaknesses. Okay, we'll be looking at strengths and weaknesses from 4 aspects: financial, physical, intellectual, and social. Okay, financial. Do we have solid foundations or sponsors backing us, or do we have a cash deficit? Physical. Do we have a building? Do we have an office that we can operate out of? Or are we weak in that aspect? We have no place to operate from. We're a group of people with an idea. Intellectual. Do we have any, typically it would refer to patents, but do we have any intellectual property that puts us in a position to outdo our competition? Do we have some form of sophisticated, maybe our tech support has developed some sort of sophisticated donor tracking software? Or are we at a loss? Do we have intellectual weaknesses? Next is social. Do we have a good presence? Does the community view us in a positive light, or are we weak in that? Does the community view us in a negative light? These are some of the strengths and weaknesses we'll look at when trying to get a grip on the microenvironment. Finally,